It's your girl B.
It's your boy, lover boy Lonnie.
And welcome back to our new episode of Conversations with B, baby.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
How you been?
I've been good.
How was your summer?
My summer is amazing.
Mine too.
Yeah. Things are starting to kind of come together for me in my personal life. So
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love
you
it.
care to share? No. Oh, okay. Not there
not
yet.
there
set in
yet. But
stone?
the things are coming together as far as like just feeling like I'm getting in a groove of things going trending upward and not downward. If you catch my drift, like you know how you go through that little rut in life.
Yeah.
Shit just seemed like, damn, it can't get no worse. I don't know how I'm gonna pay that, and then all of a sudden, God found a way. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, and He found a way. You know, I've been feeling a lot better the last couple weeks.
That's amazing. Amen. We love a blessing.
Yeah.
I just been working, hustling, listening to tons of music, traveled, went to some shows, you know.
Yeah, that you gonna tell us about that experience at that show?
Oh, when I seen Janae?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Do you think she can? No, never mind. Let me not do that. I don't know if you approve of that. Me saying
you know,
that.
she's such a teeny human. Like, she's very small.
I've seen her. I've seen her before.
And that was like my first time seeing her in person. So I'm like, I was like, okay, I don't really expect her voice to project so much. We literally like was over singing her.
I was getting ready to ask you about that because when I saw her on a Wiz Khalifa Snoop Dogg tour maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I wasn't really too impressed.
Yeah.
Like with a live performance per se. The vocals weren't there for me. I don't know if she was tired or what could occur. That's not to say she can't. I'm just saying my expectation was not didn't feel fulfilled when I saw her back then.
Right.
So I don't know how did her vocals sound?
They were great.
They were great? Okay.
I mean, and also it's her tour.
Oh, it's her tour.
So it's her through and through. Like, she was really in her element. And it was very entertaining and worth every dollar I spent.
Yeah, my first experience wasn't that great. That's why I wanted to know. That's interesting that you say that because we both seen her. This is the first time I think we discussed somebody that we both seen.
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't.
You wouldn't go again.
I wasn't rocking with it, man. And that's like I said, it's not to say that she can't. It may have just been a bad night. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like too, a lot of the times artists, they don't really give it up like that, especially if it's not their tour. Like, they have different shows, different sets for different occasions.
That's true.
And I really feel like this tour in its entirety, she was able to be herself. So
Okay.
I don't know, that could have a difference, or she really, worked on her vocals and, But
It's been a gap of time, of course, so she could have gotten way better or improved from the time that I went to the time you saw her. So I was just curious to see what your experience was like because mine wasn't the great wasn't the greatest, so maybe I should run it back. It wasn't a festival.
Okay, it was an
actual concert. It was her. It was a whole lineup. It was a lot of people, but it wasn't a festival.
Gotcha. That's dope. I went to Mexico.
How was that?
It was horrible.
Really?
It was god
You're the
awful.
only person that told me that Mexico
I went to
was horrible.
Tulum. I feel like it's an up and coming spot.
Mm-hmm.
So they were still they're trying to work out the kinks and stuff.
The drinks on point?
I didn't really drink.
You didn't drink?
We drank back at the villa. I had drinks at the spots that I ate at.
That's probably safer that you do that. So
yeah, and it's like after a certain amount of time, like it's dark as fuck out there. Like they don't really have street lights. So if you're not staying on a resort, then you better keep your ass in that.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
So yeah,
That's
we
fair.
turned up and had fun in the villa and stuff. But would I go back to Mexico? Hell no.
Well, I don't think Tulum speak for all of Mexico though. Cancun.
Oh, we went to Playa de Maya. We did a little tour over there. That was dope as fuck.
Yeah.
I would go back there. But
I just think it's all on where you pick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I heard Cancun was great.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm about to say
was
I
great.
have not heard one thing bad about Cabo and Cancun. You the first. Well, but you went to the Loom though. So I mean,
I just did not have a good
and that's fair.
experience.
No, I'm not expecting you to change how you feel. But
experience
is different. But they went to different places. That's what I say. I think you're the first person I talked to that went to Tulum. Everybody goes to Cancun or Cabo, like you said. So
they don't never have to worry about me again.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I was supposed to go see Lucky Day. I didn't. I didn't make it.
He's dope.
I heard he was. Fana, it's the artist named Fana Hughes. She was opening up for him, so I was really excited to see her. I didn't get to see her, so I'm gonna try to circle back and check her out.
You should.
But yeah, that was my summer.
You had a very, very festive summer. I was just consuming a lot of hip hop content and looking at my YouTube and working.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Hey, next summer is my summer. I'm gonna travel next summer. I ain't worried about it. I might travel this winter. You never know. Rates is cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People don't really travel in the winter.
I do.
Unless it's like Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
I do, because it is cheaper.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's cheaper.
And I don't really like the summertime like that. The fall, I'm a fall girl. That's why we're back. We're transitioning to fall. So, like, people was wondering where I was at, where we been. I'm like,
enjoying your summer.
I don't really do much creatively in the summertime. It's just not my season to be creative. So,
it's fall and winter.
It is. And peak of spring, summer.
I think I'm more of a summer guy. But, I mean, I'm up for creating at any time, but definitely summer and spring are more of my thing.
Really?
Yeah. I don't really like winter and fall that much. I feel like I've appreciated them more as I've gotten older. But
you're such a fashion guy, so I feel like...
No, winter you can get busy with fashion.
You really can.
That creative side of me comes out, but I'm speaking more so of like just summer, just... being out and about, things to do. Winter and fall are like dead seasons. Everybody want to be in the house and, booed up, loved up. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I've ever experienced the fall and winter in love.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we're going to work on that. 2025 or 2024, we're going to work on that. Because it ain't over. Because fall ain't, completely here.
It'll be here next week.
And I hope everything falls in place next week.
I hope it does too. But yeah, let's get into it. So I want to start off by talking about DJs.
Okay, let's go for it.
I feel like we're in a new era with DJing. Like, I feel like they made a comeback. It's really popular. Like, we got DJs. They have their own shows and... like, it's just big on... Everybody's just big on mixing sounds and songs and mashups and transitions. And, like, I feel like we're really in a time right now. Like, like Zach Fox, he's been, like... He had a whole, like, little tour over the summer.
Yeah.
I didn't get to make it to anything. I would have loved to. But, yeah, like, they're doing shows and, like... People really just like going out and enjoying sets and stuff from DJs. Yeah. And, back in the early 90s and the 80s, like DJing was
a big thing.
It was a big thing. It was supreme to like have your DJ.
The DJ was the main
premiere your music. Like it was a really, really big thing.
They were like the gatekeepers back then. Like they were the ones that were to break the artists, not the internet.
Right.
So you're right. But you said there's a reemergence of it, so you're going to have to put me on to some DJs then, because I'm still stuck in the early 2000s with Clue.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still stuck in the 2000s
you got
with
DJ Khaled, you got DJ Mustard.
Count DJ Khaled.
I mean, you got DJ Drama.
I count Drama, though. I seen him do a
Drama
set.
Is a beast.
Drama is a dog. I love Drama. That's why I said I'm still stuck in the early 2000s with Drama and Clue and...
Yeah, I'm a DJ.
DJ
Quick.
Who Kid.
I'm a DJ Quick girl and a DJ Screw all day. Like
yeah, they cold. I'm Clue. And what boy with Charlemagne?
The Heavy Hitters.
No, with Charlemagne the God. They got the radio show. Envy. Yeah, I couldn't get.
See, that's why you need
to
be mic'd up.
I couldn't get Envy out, but yeah, I'm stuck in that era of DJs. I haven't made it past that.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to talk about it because it's a new feel. I mean, I was kind of like not for it, but as I like researched and discovered more DJs and stuff, like it's a lot of people that is really putting on for DJing.
Really?
So
Okay.
it's kind of like
it's a lost art, kind of, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I feel like now the DJs like Khaled and Mustard, which Mustard dropped a hard ass.
I didn't
album.
listen to it, but I heard about it. I didn't get to it.
And what I like about it is it's just one big like transition.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like every song transitioned into one another, and I love that. It was really like not only just a rap album from a DJ, but the skill of a DJ. He really mastered that on the album, so I could appreciate it. It's just beautifully
done,
crafted. So, but yeah, like, you know, we got DJs that rap now, DJs that sing. I mean, it's
multifaceted now.
Yeah, it's become a new thing with every, you know, decade and era with music. But I feel like now it's more centered towards people who, you know, have an ear for something and they want to make two into one type of style. So at first, like, you know, the sounds on TikTok. Are you big on TikTok?
I'm not a TikTok guy, but I'm familiar with what you're talking about. Yeah,
I'm a TikTok girl, so you know they be mashing sounds and stuff together. Like, I really fuck with it. I didn't like it.
See, I've heard a few DJs on there, but I didn't know it was a thing until you just told me.
Like, people get on live and they have sets. They just DJ, and people will like tune in.
I seen that a little bit on Instagram Live during the pandemic, though. I did see that.
Yeah, it was real big. I
saw Knife Wonder do it a couple of times on my feed and a couple of other DJs, but I didn't know it had transitioned to its own thing, and it's like a big thing. So I'm gonna have to like look more to it because I didn't know that was a thing now.
Yeah,
I thought you was about to say they was gonna be scratching and stuff. Like,
no, it's like, not. It's not. Like, it's not even that anymore. Like, it's took on its own new identity.
Yeah, he's evolved into something different. Okay.
So yeah, have you been in touch with the Roc Nation and Dame Dash news?
Oh, you know I was in touch with that.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
That's my boy. I'm a Dame guy.
Really?
Yeah, I like Dame personally. I don't have an issue with him. I think people heavily criticize him because of his delivery, but you can find people who don't have the delivery who are just as shrewd as a businessman. You know what I'm saying? Just because it sounds that way.
You think he's a good businessman?
I think he's bad with relationships. I don't think he's a bad businessman. I think his relationships is what determined his outcome.
Yeah.
I think he stands on his morals and his values, but sometimes that gets in the way of us making money.
True.
And I'm not saying that you shouldn't put those first. You should, but there's a balance.
Absolutely.
And if there's a way you can go about doing things too. Mm-hmm. And if your morals and values don't align with a person's morals and values, it's okay to politely say, "Hey, this ain't for me." You don't have to go off the way. But then again, we got to be real. We don't know what exactly triggered him to act like that, because that could have been something he repeatedly experienced, and we just saw him hit the tip and go off. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how many times this man has encountered these type of situations with the same people, and it might have been hey bro, chill, and it might have been a little bit more stern the next time than the last time we see it on TV or in the camera. He just explodes, and we thinking he just doing this all the time. Where no, I've asked this person in a respectful way to not do this, and now we're here.
I feel like even in the Roc-A-Fella days, he had warnings. Like, you know, the label, they said he was doing too much. Like, he was really doing too much.
I believe it.
And, you know, sometimes you gotta, like, water down that persona and that personality when you're in them type of rooms. Because people are not going to always, you know, take you at full speed.
Yeah, he has a strong personality.
Yes, and I feel like that has
hindered.
It's hindered him as a businessman. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Everything he done with the films and the clothing line and just to start Roc-A-Fella, it was great. Yeah. I mean, him, Big, and Hov, they had I feel like they had a good thing going.
They did.
But as I read like more into it, like just looking at the business aspect and the contracts, and you know, Hov's Reasonable Doubt is tied up. He has rights to all his other albums, but his debut album.
It goes back to him in the next 6 years, though.
That right there alone, and they say like I think 2031 he won't be able to get like rights to that music.
No, he gets the rights back after 30 years. I think it's 30 years.
What kind of business is that?
But they all play like we got to be real.
It was bad. It was bad. I don't care what nobody says.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't completely agree. If we all three are business partners, you're a struggling rap artist. We're talented, but we have money to back you and keep this dream going along with yours. And we all contribute to your first album. We all taking a risk on you, bro, because we all trying to get out the streets. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah, I own a piece of this album because I helped contribute to financing it. So, yeah, I think it was a fair business deal on that album. I could see if they own pieces of every other album after that. No. But that album, I could see him saying, yeah, I own a piece of it. And I feel like he deserves the right to sell his share either back to Jay-Z.
He don't have a choice. He gotta sell it.
It goes back to him, but he has to sell it now because it's been auctioned. The courts are making him auction it off to pay off debts.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I don't feel like Jay should have blocked him for selling it because probably he needed the money because his portion of the album going back to Jay in the next 5 or 6 years. So what's the point of blocking it? Let him sell it. Whoever else own it, you just thug it out for 5 more years. You're not hurting for no cash. Get your joint back in 5 years.
But do you really think he wasn't like for him selling it?
Yeah, he went to court to keep him from selling it. Yeah, he went to court to keep Dame from selling it. That's why they started bumping heads again.
You know, my homie was like, he was saying he think Drake gonna buy it.
I think 50 should buy it just to be petty.
No,
I'm for 5th buying it and getting a chain.
I would like to buy it.
I'm all for 50 buying it. I would love
to buy it.
I would too, and I want the Roc chains too.
For sure,
I'm just saying, for the chains. Yeah, the chains is what we doing. The chains. I said, bro, I would buy it if I had the bread just for the chains.
For sure.
I just feel like he should have just allowed Dame to sell it. Like you said, the past is the past.
So you don't think that Dame? I mean, that's all he has left.
I don't think he hurt like people saying he is, because I mean,
and
bro,
you might be right.
His broke is different from my bro. I look at it like this: like he ain't on the streets and checking in mental hospitals and can't play, certain things like regular day stuff. Like from what I see on camera, it looks like everything's copacetic. You know what I'm saying? And like he's standing in an apartment. He actually is able to buy properties and stuff. It just seems like he make some bad investments, and sometimes doing business, that's what happens.
And bad investments, and you're not paying your child support and your taxes and shit. Do you see?
Because he was betting on his dreams. He was betting on himself.
Majority.
most of that
is bad business.
It is bad business. You got to pay your taxes. I ain't all for people like tearing them down. Like a lot of people, like we quick to tear somebody down and not understand what they experienced or what they went through. I would like to see the Dame Dash documentary to hear his side as far as what he experienced and how he got blackballed. I'm not about to tear this man down. Yeah, he a little shrewd and a little rude. But at the end of the day, I'm not one to see somebody fall and just be like, oh, he deserved it. And I seen a lot of that in the comment sections when I see platforms put up the story. And I'm not with that. It could be Jay. It could be the other foot around on Jay-Z. I wouldn't want to see anybody. I wouldn't laugh at somebody's downfall if they experience it, because that's not
unless it's Drake.
I wouldn't laugh at Drake either. I just don't like Drake. I just don't like his music. It's just strictly music with Drake. It's not personal. Like, I don't know the brother, so I wouldn't want to see him suffer either.
Okay.
Even though he's an ass, I think, based off what I see in the media.
Did you ever like watch the State Properties?
Oh yeah, I did. I was a Roc-A-Fella fan.
Hell yeah, me too. Like,
one was the shit. I wasn't big on 2, but the first State Property movie was the shit.
I liked all of them, and I liked Streets is Watching. That I think that
more of a musical,
hip hop musical. He did an album,
the first hip hop musical,
album to a musical to the album or whatever. But yeah, I fuck with it. I thought it was a good plot. It was,
it was dope. I watched all that stuff they put out, bro. I was a fan.
Yeah,
I just hate that I just hated it ended the way it ended. Like, I really feel like, look, bro, I know y'all ain't on best terms, but Jay, just let the boy sell it. You getting it back in 5-6 years, bro. Just let him sell it so he can get out of whatever situation he in, and maybe y'all can make peace. You know what I'm saying?
I doubt it.
I don't know. I know they're not, but I think if he owns this part of my music and it's coming back to me in 5 or 6 years, bro, do what you're gonna do with it. Make your money off of it, because when it come back to me, it's coming back to me.
I kind of feel like, in his own way, he wanted him to stay on until the clause ran out on the contract or whatever, just so nobody else could get involved. Like, hell, I'd rather him than, a stranger come in and be in on my shit.
Yeah, but you got away from him because you didn't like how he did business. So make it make sense.
Well, I mean,
what I'm saying?
I feel like
you didn't want to deal with him, so you got away from him. And this is another opportunity to get away from him.
I feel like, with Def Jam and stuff like that, I feel like they wanted that position, like him and Dame. Like,
they wanted Dame out so they could take his spot. That's how I look at it. They coerced to get Dame out. I believe Steve Stout and what's the white dude name? Can't think of his name. Leo Conan. Thank you. Yeah. I think they did that intentionally to get him out the spot. I just really do.
I'm so biased on that whole topic because I'm really a whole fan. Like not because of Beyonce.
No, I didn't say that. I wasn't.
Because everybody think that.
I love Hov, but sometimes I think he can be. I think he could be a little bit more. I don't know. I love Hov, but sometimes I be looking at him like kind of side eye sometimes. But I understand he is like the ultimate capitalist. Like, he gonna find a way to make bread off any situation. So it's like,
you think?
Yeah, he's definitely like an opportunist / capitalist. Like, definitely. What has he not capitalized off of that his name is not on? He finds a way. Like, okay, I give you an example. The whole Kaepernick thing with the NFL. It went from supporting Kaepernick to working with the NFL, and he found a way to kind of capitalize out.
So
not to say it didn't benefit other people, because it did, but he found a way to capitalize off that situation.
I forgot he did transition into the sports.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hov kind of do find ways to slide in and capitalize and make money off something. And I can't knock him for that. It's because he's told us that's who he is. So I'm not mad.
Yeah, I mean, and he's expressed that in his music over the years, but I just kind of feel like he knows that it is an expiration day on rappers. Like, I hate to say that, but it is.
Yeah, it is.
So I just feel like he's transitioning into different avenues and revenues.
As he should, but I think the people around him looked at it differently.
Yeah.
Like, when the people around you looked at La Familia and we're the what do they call it? A circle of success, as Dame refers to it. I think they really took that to heart versus, nah, bro, I'm out there check. What y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was Jay-Z's mentality, and the other one was like, no, we're a circle, we're friends, we're family. And his was, no, I'm going to get this bag at any cost. I ain't do this rap shit just to be broke and be cool with y'all niggas. I'm doing this rap shit to take care of my family and the people around me and change their lives. Yeah.
And legacy.
And I think that's where the disconnect became, because they started seeing that Hov was doing his own separate deals, and they're looking at him like, why would you tell us about that? Nigga, he getting ready to leave y'all hanging dry. And I think they thought opposite. They thought, well, damn, we always share what we getting with each other. Why we not breaking bread now? Yeah. And he was like, why break bread with you when I could just keep it to myself? I'm the face. I'm Michael Jordan. I don't really need the Bulls. I'm my own brand. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I don't really pay too much attention to politics. Like I hear and I see he does other things, but like I don't really like make that the face of who he is to me.
No, he's not the face. That's not the face. I know,
but a lot of people do say that about him. They say that about his business deals and, just the business and the things that he does. Like, that's why they don't like him.
Yeah, he's a very shrewd businessman, but that's why I say, is he really any different from Dave? He just do it a little differently, a little bit more tact. Because he made J. Cole pay for it. J. Cole said he paid an arm and a leg to get, all his, get his, was it his publishing? What he said? Yeah, he paid an arm and a leg to get it back. He like, damn, I just thought you could have gave me the homie price, but hey, business is business. That's what Cole said. So we hear about these shrewd business deal with Jay-Z. It's nothing new. That's why I said I don't think he really no different from Dan. It's just a tact. He's not disrespectful. He's not loud. He's not boisterous. Yeah. And one thing about America, they do not like a loud, arrogant black man that is rich. And Dame irks every bit of that. And nobody likes it. Nobody wants to deal with it.
I feel like, too, I heard about Roc Nation. They, kind of going on a decline, as far as their executives and stuff stepping down. I think one executive, she was there for maybe 20, 30 years. She stepped down. They're getting rid of roles and stuff because, everybody is kind of transitioning to independent and and they're going
to strictly to consumer. When you're an artist, you can go direct to consumer. Why do I need I might need Roc Nation for maybe management. And it might be just strictly management after a while. They're probably not going to sign any new artists.
I agree. And it kind of just eye-opener for the industry too. It's a label and that type of, affiliation going down like that. Just imagine all the other big labels and stuff. What's to come for them?
Yeah, but I think I was talking about it with a homeboy earlier today. I think the music industry itself is getting ready to kind of either go back to being where it was before, where they're looking for actual talent versus looking for viral success. Because the tour dates, they're not selling. They were cutting some of the tour dates out of Sexy Red's tour, I believe.
It wasn't selling.
Exactly, but I think this is because they focus on more viral type artists and not focus on developed artists like we said before. If you focus on the developed artists, you'll get the money in the long run. You might not get it with the first, might be the second or third, but you'll get it. They can tour, but when you go to a Sexy Red or a what's the little light skinned girl that's in the Sprite commercials, Munch chick.
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice, yeah. But you go to that concert, it's only one song that you really can sing, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, the kids is the only ones into it, and the parents is paying for the tickets. And if they hear these negative stories about these two women in media, they're not going to pay for their kids to go see them.
That's true.
So that's not something you can market. So you might as well play for a long game versus paying for a quick hookup or a quick money flip. It's not working anymore.
Also, it is the artist's job to
develop themselves
and create a direct line of contact with their fans and their audience. That's to true. Pull them in to want to see them perform live. I mean, we can always refer back to Nicki. But
she was developed. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she needed the label to help her develop. She was already, you know what I'm saying, groomed to be in that role. She had been doing it for a minute before then.
And now it's so funny you say that because I wanted to talk about that. I was listening to Young Money, their first compilation, with everybody on it and stuff. And still to this day, I feel like with Drake and Nicki, they have a respect for Wayne that a lot of these up and coming artists don't have for people that's came before them. And I felt like Wayne, he's seen the potential. I mean, he probably seen the potential in all of them, but let's be honest, we knew
who the stars were.
Yeah, on Bedrock.
Drake and Nicki were the ones that you quoted Bedrock, the most.
We knew who was
the stars.
The stars and who, I mean, even Gutta. Don't get me wrong. I love Gutta. He made some hard ass mixtapes, but he did not have
he don't have a mainstream
appeal. So even with Wayne knowing that, he never did any funny shit. It was just all love and you listen to their records, all their records together. It's healthy competition on them records. One could probably possibly out-rap the other, but it was just healthy competition. And we don't have that. I feel like nobody is modeling that in the industry anymore. And I feel like
rap labels ain't really rap crews ain't really a thing now.
It's
Other than
not.
if you think about Benny the Butcher and Conway the Machine with Griselda, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't.
But they're not really mainstream type of dudes.
They're not, but that's the only rap crew I can think of, unless you can name, you know what I'm saying, that have healthy competition. They're the only ones. It's the older ones. It's none of the younger ones.
Conway just dropped a project Friday.
He did.
I listened to it earlier. Wayne is on it too.
Well, he's a dog.
It's hard.
I wouldn't want to rap on anything he rap on.
I wasn't expecting that feature. It was hard. But yeah, I feel like nobody is modeling what Wayne, Nicki, and Drake have showed us over the years. They still appear on each other's albums. Like, it's all love. Like, we just don't have that. We don't have that model anymore.
Well, not in the mainstream sense, no.
The rap girlies today are disrespectful and they not selling. And I know we don't really, I'm not really big on charts, I'm not. But I feel like it's a certain type of respect that they need to come in the game with. Yes, you're great. You know you're great. You're supposed to think that. But in the same breath, have some respect for who came before you. Like, I just... That's a lost art.
I'm gonna give you a little pushback on. I think historically, rap has always been like shit on the old heads because the new niggas is here. I think rap has historically kind of been like that. I'm gonna give you my examples.
I don't know.
You don't think so? Historically, like when the new niggas come, oh, you old nigga, I'm new. You know, I feel like that's always happened with every generation, bro.
You feel like that?
Yeah. 50 shitted on Ja Rule, right when he came through the door.
They wasn't that much of a gap in there.
I think it was a kind of a gap between them, but he still had a career before 50 did.
You think 50 rap better than Ja Rule? He was basically saying this nigga is old news. I'm that new nigga from Queens. Fuck him. He not a real gangster. Do you think
that is shitting on the nigga that came before you?
Do you think 50 rap better than Ja Rule? I'm
about to be biased. That's cool. I'm gonna be biased, and I'm gonna stand on my bias too. 50 Cent is a better rapper than Ja Rule.
Oh my God! In what way? How?
I think he's a better writer, for sure.
I disagree.
You don't think 50 wrote better songs?
How many albums 50 had?
50 had, if you count the Power of the Dollar, that's like, what, 4, 5, 6? In that range? It's about 4, 5, 6.
I'm a Ja Rule girl.
Do you count the G-Unit album? If you count the G-Unit album, it's about 8.
If we count the G-Unit album, then we count the Murder Inc. album compilation.
Who cares about those? But okay.
What?
I don't like the Murder Inc. compilations. Who the fuck talks about Murder Inc. compilations, nigga?
Bro, don't ever disrespect Murder Inc.
Did.
I grew up on that shit
all day. G-Unit is the rap crew of that era from 2003 to about 2007 or 6.
I hold Murder Inc. and I hold Ja Rule very dear because that was the first rapper that I listened to that I really like rap. Yes.
I respect
that. That was my blueprint. 50 came when I was like in middle school.
I know, but that goes to my point. Like, the new nigga came in, he's shitting on the old nigga. I'm a kid in elementary
school. I'm a young girl in elementary school. Listen to Murder Inc. Don't fucking play with me. Shit. I was about that life.
But I'm just saying, like, but it still goes to my point. Like, when the new nigga come in, sometimes he shits on the old nigga. LL Cool J did it with Kumo D. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can historically go through rap where the young nigga say, hey, bro, that shit you talking, I don't fuck with. There's always been like a generation gap between hip hop where the old heads and the youngest kind of beef a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I wholeheartedly always have felt that.
Maybe
way.
I missed it. I never really.
It's not as prominent as it is now because we have the internet. But if you look through the history, I do feel like there's been some situations where it was it's a generation versus a generation. LL Cool J, Cannabis, right? Not necessarily Cannabis starting with him, but he took what the new nigga said as offensive to him. Why would you disrespect me? And now you got a whole battle and ruin a nigga career because you think he said something offensive. So that's why I said I think it's always been that competition of an old versus new. You know what I'm saying? In certain situations in hip hop.
Until they get in that position and it's them and they're like, damn.
Tyler kind of did it when he came through because it was interesting. I saw an interview with him not too long ago.
Oh, I seen an interview too.
And it was like, bro, you sound like the old head now that was talking about you when you came in the game.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said it's always been that divide between the younger and older generation in hip hop.
Until they get a little more.
Hip hop is dead. When remember Nas was saying hip hop is dead. Oh, you talking about us, franchise boys? Bro, you can't even rap. We not talking about you. But I'm just saying, like, it's always been that divide between old niggas and young niggas. I remember the young niggas around 07, 08 was dissing the shit out of Jay-Z. Cameron, when they went in that whole Max B, that was going in on Jay-Z
How the
head.
fuck was he dissing Hov and he was signed to him?
No, not in 07. Not in 07. He wouldn't. Go look at Killer Season with record label. He's not under Roc-A-Fella. It's Dipset.
Oh, it's Dipset. That's right.
It's Dipset. Bitch.
I'm tripping. I'm like, wait a minute.
For real.
So, do you feel like hip hop is the most sampled genre, and why?
Sample as in like musically, or
like, do you feel like the genre is sampled a lot?
I think it's bitten. Like, people try to jock the style, and like, I think people just try to steal the style of hip hop, period. In everyday life. You could be watching an Arby's commercial and it's got some hip hop slang in it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's the most jocked and kind of hijacked artistry you can think of, not just sample wise, but like culturally. It's the most taken from. And I think that should stop to a certain extent, because I think I feel like it's kind of disingenuous when McDonald's comes through and steal some type of slang that urban culture is using, or hip hop culture is using.
Yeah.
Like, who gets paid off that? You know what I'm saying? Is it somebody black writing that? Is you got somebody black kind of contributing to this process? Because I'm confused. Like,
but no, I was at the movies yesterday, and one of the new cartoon movies, sampled a Hov song. I'm like, what the fuck?
But hip hop is the new rock and roll.
Just to introduce the film, like the trailer. It had a whole. I forget which song it is.
It's a lot of movies doing it.
I was like, wow, he's signing off on that.
But I mean, again, it's a business, so I mean, I hate that it's like that, because it waters it down. It's no longer like sacred anymore. Yeah, it's mainstream. Hip hop is mainstream, so that's an adjustment for me as a fan, that hip hop is now mainstream. So when things go mainstream, like kind of like rock in the 80s and 70s, you started seeing it more mainstream. It kind of loses its mystique and value to the people in the culture. And what sucks is that we move on and create something different. Yeah. And we didn't really benefit completely as a culture off of it when it was being exploited. So that's the kind of the downside for me when I see stuff like that, where you see a movie and, oh, it's kind of cool that they did it, but I kind of liked it when it wasn't really being used that way.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm saying too. Like, it's like it kind of takes away from like the moment of it.
It's like hearing a hip hop night at a hipster bar.
Yeah, it's
in a gentrified neighborhood.
It used to just be weird. A thing for us, and now it's just
for everybody. Yeah.
So I kind of just like, I don't know, and I kind of been like, I don't know, do I really want to step into this rap world?
But I think that's
through, because it's just not the same. I feel like it has changed completely. The value, the purpose, the intent, all of it has changed. Just not what it used to be.
Yeah, and I feel like,
and that takes the fun out of it.
I agree with it. That's why I haven't really been pressed to listen to too much hip hop lately. Either it's really old or it's been like R&B. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I have been challenging myself to listen to new things, because
that does do that.
I get called an old head. Somebody said I sound like an old head. So I've been challenging myself to listen to new things.
Nigga, we 30 plus, we supposed to sound like an old head.
I listened to Lotto. I listened to Lotto's album, Sugar Honey Iced Tea.
Or how was that?
When experience? I tell you,
it's fire.
At first, I was like, I felt like she kind of missed the mark to make it a real Southern rap album from a female. You say you a Georgia Peach, like, bring that shit home.
Yeah, she a Georgia Peach, all right.
Make me believe that. I mean, the album was good. The records is good on it. She had a little touch of Southern, but the A&R me wanted her to be just a little bit more like showing more Southern and South type of energy to the records. Like, she could have did some interludes with rappers from Atlanta, talking about old Atlanta, and kind of mixing it and making it new.
She's
versus
capable of doing that too. So I can see where your gripe is coming from as a fan. Like I feel like out of
T.I.'s record, Money Clothes.
Yeah, I know the joint you talking about. Yeah,
I felt like that was really big of him to let her use it. It took a minute for it to clear because she came back and put it on the album. It wasn't on there at first. She came back and put it on the album. I felt like that was very like stand up of him to clear the sample for her. So.
Yeah, I'm a T.I. fan. So especially for that first 4 or 5 album run, and it's kind of hard to kind of hear new rappers get on stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because, like, I didn't understand back in the day. I know P-Rock got mad at Lupe Fiasco for sampling one of his songs, and he felt some type of way about it. And I didn't know why he felt that way. But when I start hearing the younger artists like Alotto take a song like 24s and kind of remixing and put their own spin to it, I get it. But at the same time, it's just like I felt like you kind of took a
classic.
You took a classic away from it. Like it was fun.
Did it justice.
No, she did. I'm not saying she didn't, but it's just as a fan of him and what that album did for me personally.
I could see how it made you feel.
Yeah, like I don't. That's one of them songs I didn't want to see touched. But I get it. And you know,
that's why I asked you, do you feel like hip hop is the most sampled genre? Like
I think that's the problem with it now though. I think stop sampling hip hop and actually open up your ears and listen to some other, challenge yourself to listen to something other than hip hop, because I think that's what made hip hop great in the first place. You were able to sample for something and go back in the crates and say, well, that's what you sample? You know what I'm saying? You can't do that now. It's like you sampling off something I heard. But then again, hip hop was doing that when we was there too. They was sampling off old hip hop songs too. So
they wouldn't. I'm not
as bad as what they're doing. But they did it though.
But I feel like
If I Rule the World by Nas is a sample from a Curtis Blow song. You know what I'm saying? Like they did it, but it just feels like they do it more frequently now.
Also, too, I feel like producers back then were producers. They were really artists. They wasn't just
trying to jack a beat,
you know, looping stuff. Like they were actually digging in crates and chopping records up.
But because they had an ear for music.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying?
They
could play. And I mean, that is what's wrong. That is just, the art of it is just missing. And you could tell it's just like,
I just have an appreciation for a new sample. That's all. I just have an appreciation. Or you take a sample that was used before, but you really completely flip it and use it in a way we didn't know you could use it. You know what I'm saying?
Like me, I'm casually listening to, you know, the 70s and all those artists and stuff, and I hear it, I'm like, oh wow, this is what was used. Because sometimes I hear stuff and I don't hear it until later on down the line, and I'm like, okay.
And it'd be crazy because it be in like, you be in a store and they just play a random song. Yes. Like, bro, I heard that song before. And then you put your little jam. He'd be like, oh, that's the original song. Man, that was such and such sample there. No, I do that all the time, but hip hop don't give that no more.
It doesn't.
I know what that is.
OMG.
Give me something I haven't heard.
I love that.
I love when you can do that. That's what I enjoy the most. Like through college. That's all I did. That's what that was a sample of.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah, and I think we don't get that nostalgic value from it anymore. We're not digging in the crates anymore. We're looking for something that such and such made. Well, I'm going to sample what he made and make it my own version.
Or just to get like, you know, some...
the radio spins.
Yeah, and it's...
Because it's a familiar tune. That's why they do that. It's a familiar tune. I know it's going to give me some spins.
Everybody's looking for familiar. They're not looking for anything new. Like, I feel like everybody's afraid to like really step out and try something different.
Yeah, because a lot of them, it's a money grab.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I know if I do this, it's going to give me this amount of plays and people going to pay attention because it's this. Instead of, you know what, I'm going to go out on a limb, I'm going to try some shit that's new.
Yeah.
I pray that it works. You know what I'm saying? Nobody does that anymore. They going with a formula instead of just putting that shit out there and saying, I'm going to put this out and we're going to see where this lands.
Lazy. It's lazy. All across the board. But I know people got quotas and...
It's a business now. It's a complete business.
To me, it's business at the end of the day, but maybe one day, you know, I'll get in there and change it around.
I hope so.
That's my goal. That's my hope. I think about it all the time.
You start management. You need to start managing artists.
No, I did that already.
I know. Keep doing it.
I want an A&R.
Be the change that you want to see.
I want an A&R. Managing is just too tedious. It's too much like babysitting.
I can see that.
It's just too much like babysitting.
How you feel about LL Cool J's top 5 for Def Jam?
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, he was on Shannon Sharp, and he gave his top 5, and he got a lot. He got a lot of pushback for it, and I'm like, why'd y'all give him pushback? Like, that nigga old. Of course he go pick old niggas to be on his rap. And his rap much more of Def Jam. Like, why would you think that nigga would pick JC? Oh, that shit had me weak. I'm like, yo, y'all know how LL Cool J
did you hear? I forgot. I wanted to talk about Big Sean. Did you hear his album?
Yeah, I listened to it.
Did you hear it?
It's fire.
It's fire as fuck, but he's been getting terrible feedback. They say it's too mature.
Huh?
They say he's too mature. But you know, he did that interview. As fuck. Like, he did that interview with Charlamagne, and everything that nigga was saying in the interview, he talked about it in the album. I was like, fuck. It was like a full circle moment.
Honestly, I felt like that was the most relatable album he made that I could connect with. As like on a human level. Like, I had a different respect for him listening to that album. Riding to work that day. I was like, bro, the growth is amazing. I appreciate it. I ain't like that bullshit you was on when you first came out.
He was just trying shit.
I know he was. I feel like that too, but I felt like I like the growth that he has, like the steps he has made towards growth. Like the last 2 albums, I definitely have given his kudos on because he was in that Drake category for me at first. I did not like him. But with those last 2 albums and a couple albums before that, I'm like, okay, yo, you giving me a different bag.
I liked his debut album. It was fire. He had Dwelle on there.
It was good. I'm not gonna take that away from him, but it just wasn't for me.
It was very Detroit, but after that, I don't know.
Now Detroit 2 is not Detroit 2, but Detroit, the first Detroit, the mixtape.
Yeah, it's fire.
I think that's what made me like, okay, this nigga really is good. Yeah. He just trying to figure out, like you said, what lane to go into.
Shit. But he stopped. He took his time. He really took his time to grow and mature. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are missing. Like, he didn't listen to what everybody say, like, oh, keep making this, just do this, just do that. Like, he really stopped, took the time to find himself, to grow and mature, and his album reflected that. Like, what more could you want from an artist?
He's gotten
a lot of backlash
but
about
I think he's an elder statesman in hip hop now, and he's in that space where you're young but you're kind of old. And I feel like that's a tough transition to spot for MC. He's already been,
but he got to grow with his folks. That nigga came out when I was in the 12th grade. 11th grade.
I was around a senior or junior when he came out. We're about the same age. So he came out around Cole, Kendrick, and Wale.
Yeah.
So his music is supposed to be a par with those artists.
With him.
But I don't know necessarily with him having different pockets and lanes. It depends on what pocket and lane of people got a hold of that album. If it was the people who like the first album or the first 2 albums, they probably not gonna like this album.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's had some immature records, and if you get that fan base get a hold of that, they're probably not gonna like it because they probably didn't mature and grow with him.
That's part of the game, though.
But he at the age where he probably gonna get pushed back and lose fans because he 35. He ain't talking about the same shit he was talking about at 25.
No, but it was very mature. It was conscious. It was like,
it felt, like I said, he felt relatable. It felt like an everyday person.
It felt like a touch of Janae too. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and stay and give him all the credit for that. I feel like, cause she's like that too. She's very conscious. She's into spirituality. Like, I feel like
he showed signs of that before
her
too.
Has reflected on him, like rubbed off a little bit.
I can see you saying that, but I feel like he's always kind of had a little touch of that.
And that's the power of women. I'm sorry, we have that power to like really inspire a man to grow and change. Crash. Well, until you get a hold of a woman like that, then hush. Until then, just hush. Because one day you gonna be like, yeah, I remember what Caitlin was saying. I see it now, and you will.
You don't know how I experienced that now, though.
Well, stop fronting.
I just said I had the ability to do both.
Crazy self. Well, I'm glad to be back. This conversation has been good.
It has.
You got anything else you want to say? Or we gonna wrap it up?
We can wrap it up. I'm good. I think you kind of hit on some of the stuff that I already wanted to hit on. So that's kind of what I had lined up anyway.
Yeah.
It was good conversation.
I'm happy to be back.
Well, it was real, y'all. It was a pleasure spending time with Miss B and her peoples, or our peoples.
Who's our peoples?
Our viewers, the people who watch our show.
Oh, yes. Thank y'all.
We appreciate y'all.
We love y'all so much for all the support and
like,
love.
share, and support. We will gladly appreciate that.
Yeah, we're trying to go prime time.
Prime time. Yeah, I'm tired of a 9 to 5. 9 to 5s are ghetto. I'm over it.
I agree with you on that.
If I could talk about music and get paid, I'm happy.
Though. I see us like prime time. Like I'm speaking it. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah. Joe Budden hit me up, bro.
No, fuck no. I'd rather go on revolt. I don't want shit to do with him. That's an old hating ass nigga. I'm sorry. I just don't like him. I just don't like him.
Bump it up.
You see that nigga got that
plaque? I ain't knocking him though, but Carisha was wrong for. Carisha was wrong for throwing shade on that nigga though. Was it Carisha? Which one of the
It was
girls?
Carisha. She
was wrong for throwing shade on that nigga. She ain't had no right. She ain't got no job right now.
You're
she
right.
ain't got no job.
You're
she
right,
ain't got no place to speak on nobody.
That's
nobody.
Do you know how long Pump It Up has been out?
Pump it up. But I fuck with it then and I fuck with it now. Pump it up was the shit.
I'm not knocking the song, but
pump it up.
That's crazy. But yeah. All right, that's our time for today.
All right, bye. Peace.